Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexandrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back with another fun. Hey, this is going to be a fun episode.
I am really ecstatic
of
right
your
now.
healthy living.
I mean, this is right up my alley.
You know, I want to make a point here because a lot of people don't really know this about us.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we could tell the story, but it will take a long time on how we met. And we tell all our guests that, and that's why they're here for an hour and they fall asleep before they get on the show. But the idea is Dr. Shasta is actually a very highly qualified acupuncturist. Is that right?
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, I've been doing it 25 years, yes.
Yes, here in the San Jose Campbell area.
Yes, correct.
Right, and is it one of those things that, you know, treatments go on and over, or is it like
everybody's different.
Right.
I work a lot with infertility, and
that's right.
We have intensive treatments. I'm very aggressive in those, and I get very, very, very good results. Pain, we also can be more aggressive and more intensive in the treatments. But other things can just be a maintenance care every 4 to 6 to 12 weeks just for a tune-up. Right. And it does work with the energy. It does work with the light body. It does work with the chakras, which is what our guest Laura Quirke does in her own way. So we are very, very lucky to have found out about her. Her company is called Light Connectors, and she is a transformational healer and coach who has helped thousands of people heal from chronic diseases, injuries, emotional issues, physical and emotional pain, fear, depression, and anxiety, and helps teach people how to manifest what they want in their lives.
I like that
Kind of like,
the manifest thing is all about what I like in life.
Exactly.
In fact, I'm writing a new book. Did you know I've been writing a new book?
I know.
Called Shift from Mediocrity.
I'm so glad you're doing it.
It's going to be fun. I'm having a good time.
I'm so glad you're doing
I spend
what you're doing.
my 1 hour every morning, and I totally ignore the kids for a while. And then I have to get back into it and be the dad
Somebody
again.
has to do what you're doing. And,
hey, as long as they're eating, I can ignore them because they won't say anything. They're just putting food in their mouth, so it all works out well.
I'm glad you're doing that.
But this is really cool because we have talked about, things that are a little bit different, and I guess it would be holistic in its essence of what we're talking about. And I know Gretchen, those of you who know Gretchen, she was kind enough to sit in for you while you were campaigning or something.
I was presenting my amendment
proposal. Thought you were running for governor of California.
Yeah.
What happened? Right. I'll vote for you.
Very funny.
Vote for Shasta, California governor. But she's really into the holistic aspects, and of course she's got a major thing that she's working through. Yeah. So I thought it was really cool when we were sitting down doing the pre-interview of just feeling like, oh my gosh, this is deja vu. Mm-hmm. And although your techniques are a little bit different, and I know we're going to go into that in more depth later in the show, but can you give people a brief idea about what we're going to be talking about before the first break here?
Sure. I can tell you about the technique that I created and use. I've learned many different techniques out there, and they all work. Some of them are just slower than others, and so I created one that gets access everything, the whole person. So the emotions, the mental stuff, the physical stuff, and they just have miracles happen.
So it's more like holistic with a WHOL, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I like that. I think there's a lot of issues out there that people don't understand when it comes from the emotional side. And I know that's one thing we talked about in the pre-interview and how we're going to be covering that. So this is going to be a really good show. And really take notes because this is really important for anybody who's looking to stay healthy. And just like your healthy living.
Yes.
That's what we do. We live healthily.
And learning what tools are out there to help yourself get better naturally.
We'll be right back after this break.
At Way of Wellness, we help to rebalance the hormones of your body so that it can heal itself. Way of Wellness offers acupuncture, Chinese medicine, functional nutrition, Qi yoga, and wellness coaching. Call 408-615-1995 and start living the life that keeps us well.
Hey everybody, my name's Alexandrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're here having fun on Your Healthy Living, talking about holistic with a W type of healing.
We're talking about energy healing with Laura Quirke, who's a transformational healer and coach. And basically, Laura is blessed with a gift of being able to channel very high vibrational energy that enables her clients to experience miraculous transformation with ease. In addition to this energy, she uses a healing technique that she created called Sacred Heart Healing, which has proven to be the fastest and most effective technique, delivering miraculous results. Each session is powerful but very gentle, and the results are often immediate. Even people who have struggled from childhood trauma and life-threatening diseases have been healed with a single session. And I really, really want to emphasize that we need to be listening in a way we've never listened before to what Laura has to share today. That we aren't taught this as we're brought up in normal mainstream America. And this stuff has been around for thousands of years in Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine,
yes.
American Indian medicine, Tibetan medicine, that we're talking about the vibrations.
Well, yes. and you know what, this is something, too, that, of course, because of the way the world is here, you know, we have to talk about what the Western medical field is all about. And, of course, this is not necessarily to say, hey, you know, this is a cure-all for everything, because we can't say that. But here's the thing. When stuff works, it works. That's not to say don't go see your doctor. Here's what I say. Go see your doctor and say, oh, well, you got spontaneous remission. We don't have any idea how you did that, but, you know, and that's the problem with today's litigious world. You know, we've got to worry about that. But when you start to see results, it doesn't matter. Like the other day, we had a PMEF thing that I thought, okay, does it work? It plugs into your phone. I actually had to use it one day, and it worked. And, normally I would have said, I need an aspirin, I need Excedrin.
Right.
And that's one of the things, because, you know, when you have a client that comes in and says, okay, well, here's my issue. And my guess is a lot of times you get people who are kind of, holding on to that last little strip of rope.
Yeah.
Right. And I have nothing, they've sentenced me to go home and
Yes. I used to get, when I first started doing healing work, it was a lot of people as a last resort. They've tried everything else. They didn't really know anything about energy healing or holistic healing, but they were willing to try anything. And they got well, and then they I wish I knew this a long time ago.
Well, let alone the cost, typically. I mean, of course, you depending on what your insurance is, and I got to guess insurance doesn't cover any of this either. No. I know that's what we've been experiencing with Gretchen. I mean, we've been through, tens of thousands of dollars of other types of therapies that are holistic to try and get this treated.
It's a fraction of the cost, though, what they'd pay to go to the doctor.
Exactly, and that's my point. I think, medical costs have kind of skyrocketed and gone through the roof, but to have somebody like you to be able to at least talk to and say, hey, you know what the heck? This is something I need to take a look at.
Yeah, and they don't, I would never tell them not to do their regular medical treatment.
Right.
They do this in addition to that.
Right. And we were talking about a show that we both loved called The Healer.
Yes.
It was on what? TBS?
Yes.
And it was a 6-session. I told you about it.
I think I saw it. Is it like some Indian lady? Or
no,
something?
He's an Australian surfer-looking dude.
Totally off on that one.
Who
sure wasn't my brother.
Has a gift. It sounds like the kind that Laura has, very special and very rare, where he can go and work on the person's energy body with them there, touching them, not touching them, or even at a distance, which is what I understand you do also, Laura. Yes. Would you like to share a little bit about that? Since I mean, the show is amazing. You should all go watch The Healer, and share it. Tell us how you came upon this. What are some of your amazing miracles that you've witnessed and been a part of?
Sure. I mean, I came upon it a long time ago. When I was a kid, I remember just knowing there was a way for people to heal easily, but didn't know how. There was no books out there. There was no information. All there was information on ESP. And I'm like, okay, that's not really it. So I'd put my hands on people and try and heal them. And then as the years went by, I went into engineering. I was actually vice president of engineering, which is totally different than healing. My degree is in engineering. I did it 20 years. And at that time, more information was coming out. So I'd read books and I'd just experiment. And so even when I was working in engineering, as I had people come to my office with, whatever problems were going on, I could just channel the energy and watch them calm down. And then I could do it in meetings. And so I was just experimenting and playing at the time. And then when I left engineering to spend more time with my kids, I had 3 kids and I was working a lot of hours. I really pursued my interest in this and took every class I could take, read everything I could read, and started working on people. I started getting amazing results, but it just took time. So, they all work, all the different healing methods, they work. Yeah. But sometimes it's just, there's so many different parts to healing a person, and that you have to get them all or they won't be completely healed.
Right.
So if they come in with a physical problem, if you just address the physical problem and you don't address the emotional stuff that caused it in the first place, they're either going to recreate that problem or create it in another way. And so I would work on people, and I would just do the healing for them, but then they would depend on me to heal all their stuff. So I wanted to create a way where they were part of the process and that they realized they can heal themselves. And so the method I use now is I do channel the energy, like Charlie does, but I'm also teaching them how to go into their heart, expand out their consciousness, and it opens up their intuition. Mm-hmm. And so we then bring into consciousness all the things that are contributing to the issue that we're working on. And so it's very efficient because there could literally be hundreds or thousands of things that are contributing to the cancer or the fibromyalgia or the injury or their menopause or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
So you bring all that in. And sometimes, oftentimes, they're not even aware of it. So it's unconscious. So it's thoughts, beliefs, traumas, experiences, fears, emotions, feelings, patterns, habits, from this lifetime, from other lifetimes, from genetics that get passed down. So there's all these things. So literally hundreds or thousands of things. You bring that into consciousness. When you're in your heart knows everything. You bring it into consciousness. And once it's in consciousness, you can transform it. And so we do a transformation there. And then sometimes we get it in one pass, and sometimes it takes a few because it goes through different layers. And once it's clear, and their heart's one saying yes or no because their intuition's wide open at that point. It used to be me just doing it for them. They didn't know what I did and suddenly get better. But now they're part of the process. And the whole time I'm channeling the energy, which raises their vibration, so it makes it easier for them.
Right.
So we go that until everything's clear there. And then I have other methods to do the physical healing. And oftentimes it's completely healed. I mean, I've had, like, one guy is an NFL player. He had knee problems. He had x-rays on his knee. And I did the healing session. He said, it feels great. He went back to a doctor, got more x-rays, and they couldn't see it on the x-ray anymore.
And that happened in one of Charlie's shows, remember?
Did it?
Yeah. There was he was an NFL player.
Oh, really?
And they worked on his knee. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Well, it makes sense if you think about it. Everything is energy, no matter what. Solid material is energy slowed down, so it looks solid and it's there. And we were talking before the show about the different frequencies that we all vibrate at.
Yes.
And negativity, of course, to me is a lower, slower type of a frequency.
Yeah.
We were talking about the reptilian brain with Laura, remember?
Yes.
From Bringing Baby Home.
Yes, and it's really interesting how
when we get angry.
We hold on to this. I think we're kind of born into this loving essence, and the tribalistic aspects of being human and being raised tends to push us into our certain little tribes and everything else like that. But as far as healing goes, that tribal essence that I was talking about, whatever it is, if it's a hate or it's a disgust for something or someone else, tends to build up and create these diseases.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
And that's what we've been really experiencing over the last couple of years working with Gretchen.
Yeah.
Is so basically what you are a conduit to being able to pull people out of these lower frequencies.
Actually, I call myself a conduit.
Oh, do you?
I say I'm a conduit channeling the energy.
I'm feeling smart now. I got these two smart women here, and I'm like, at least I said something smart. But no, I think that's true, and that's so beautiful to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more about some other success stories and some of the stuff that you do right after this commercial break. But stay tuned to KIYS Video Web Radio Network.
I do traditional Chinese medicine, and that includes 5 different branches: acupuncture, massage, yoga, tai chi, qigong, herbal medicine, and nutrition. It is amazing in helping the body heal itself, that it releases the body's natural endorphins, serotonin, and seems to rebalance the hormones of the body.
Lower back pain was taken care of very quickly. 6 treatments and I was pain-free. And this was like 3 years ago and I've remained pain-free.
I've grown up in the Bay Area and I have had my own practice for over 15 years. When I was 12, I decided I want to be an acupuncturist, and by the time I was 25, I was licensed.
I have thyroid condition and stress, big time. When I walk out, I'm feeling like a whole different person. It's definitely a blessing to be able to come here.
I love helping women have babies, and the day that they actually get pregnant, the look in their eye is like, it's the best thing ever.
I've been struggling trying to get pregnant for the past 3 or 4 years. I came to Shasta. I would totally recommend her to anyone out there that is trying to get pregnant. She will do great for you.
Way of Wellness has to do with living a life that keeps us well.
Hi there, this is Alexandrew with It's All About the Show. You know, I've been with Money Concepts since 1994, and they have been the primary catalyst for my success as a financial advisor. If you're looking for a career change and you want to help people for a living, check out moneyconcepts.com/ALEE or call 946-8378 today.
Hey, everybody. We're back with Your Healthy Living. My name's Alexandrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're talking some really cool stuff that I get into. I know you get into.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do. We're just kind of into that.
Well, you and I are
Eastern
very much
medicine.
into this, actually.
Yes, we are.
We're just vibratory beings, you know. We're kind of
We are,
hanging on the-
actually.
That's what we do.
But we were speaking of vibration. We were talking about vibratory frequencies and that kind of thing, and you being a conduit for this, being able to pull these people into a different frequency level.
Yeah.
I always use the radio reference. You know, some people are tuned into AM radio; it's staticky, and you know that kind of thing, and then FM's a little clearer; it's in stereo. Then you get the CD, and you don't have to worry; you hear it anywhere. DVD, 4K, you got the video,
Yeah.
and people that are at this level just can't see that, and I think that's where, in my opinion, is where the healing comes. Of course, you do; you're the professional.
Yeah.
So how does this work with being able to pull somebody's frequency,
Raise their vibration.
Yeah, so that's really important, and I teach people when I'm working with them why that's important. So everybody has a vibration, and it's a combination of all your thoughts, beliefs, traumas, experiences, emotions, fears, from whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's putting out this energy. And some people are able to read energy, but most people can, whether they're aware of it or not. And you attract to you experiences and people in your life that match your energy field.
Right.
So if you have energy being a victim, you'll attract people into your life to treat you like a victim. So if you don't like the outside things that are happening in your life, then you want to look inside. What part of me needs to be healed?
Right.
And there's no judgment, because sometimes it comes from other lifetimes. Sometimes it comes from many generations back.
It could be
And
a
it's not even your
Genetics
stuff.
or-
Yeah,
It
right.
could be a generational thing passed
you
down.
just say, okay, if it's there, great, I'm going to heal it.
Right,
I don't want to experience that anymore. And so you want to people to get to the point where they're vibrating very high. So a low vibration is shame and guilt and anger and frustration, and there's a whole scale from 0 to 1,000. There's different books out that describe that. High vibrations are love, appreciation, gratitude, and so you want to be conscious of what you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, because if you're focusing on things that you don't like, you're going to attract more of that into your life, right? Mm-hmm. And so what happens when you do a healing session is you heal some of the things that caused those triggers to get angry or unforgiveness. And when you heal those things, you're not going to go to those places very easily anymore, and you'll be able to hold your vibration higher. And when you hold it higher, you have more positive experiences.
Right.
And that's like the Christ consciousness.
I was going to say that, not to be
Forgiveness.
religious, but, where Christ comes from, where, Buddha comes from, where a lot of these
Yogananda.
these amazing people who were healers
Yeah.
in their essence.
Avatars.
They were vibrating at that higher level. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the forgiveness. And by the way, the forgiveness isn't for the other person. The forgiveness is for yourself.
Right.
It's that healing inside, and people don't get that. And I thought it was interesting. You said we all vibrate at a certain level, whether you're conscious of it or not.
Yeah.
And here's the way I look at it. If you don't believe in it, you're probably one of the most unconscious vibrating people around. I mean, I hate to say it, but it works.
Yeah.
And it works time and time again. So if you don't want to try it just because you don't believe it, then that's on you being a victim and not wanting to get out of it.
Right.
Some people find comfort in being a victim. Yeah. But control, I think, of ourselves through being able to vibrate at this higher frequency is part of the main aspect to what the healing is it not?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And also just choosing to work on yourself and keeping your energy high, you help everybody you come in contact with. Because a higher vibration will raise a lower vibration. So say you're next to somebody that's having a bad day and they're stuck in their drama. Just by being there and holding your energy high, they'll see other options.
True.
And it'll help them raise their vibration and choose something else.
Yes.
So even if you don't want to call yourself a healer, by holding your energy high, you're helping everybody you come in contact with.
Oh, I got a question. Yeah, you in the corner. So if that happens, and what I've noticed, because I went through this whole process after going through my divorce and everything, and I did notice it. That's why I wrote the book. I was just sitting there going, I'm starting to suck negative people into my life. And I was even dating this girl, and we used to talk on the phone. I'd be going, do you feel like we're just bringing each other down and down into this whirlpool, cesspool? And she goes, yeah. And we both decided that and ended up breaking up because of it. But how do you keep that energy? Because there are energy suckers out there. And, I mean, whether it's certain friends or whatever, but if you're around somebody like that, is there a secret to that? I mean, how do you do that?
So, I mean, sometimes when you're near people, they'll say something or do something and they'll trigger you that may be unconscious and it'll bring you down. But if you are conscious of your energy and your thoughts and you get triggered, and I teach you the technique to shift that. Every time you get triggered, if you heal, do a quick little mini healing on yourself. The more you do that, the less you have to do it. And then it's easy to keep your vibration high no matter what's going around you. So there could be chaos, drama around you, and you can still hold your light, shine your light.
That's what my yoga teacher, Baba Haridas, said. He said, the environment isn't what causes you stress, it's your mind.
It is.
It's your mind.
It's all in how we think.
Right.
I mean, I believe
He was
that.
like, life could be as light as a feather on an elephant's back without attachments and your mind.
And it's not just in
bogging
your
you
mind.
down.
I mean, those sometimes emotions, if you're overwhelmed and you've got these different emotions, sometimes you bury it in your body.
Yes. Yeah.
You just can't deal with it, so you just stuff it in there.
Yeah.
And
That's the
then you start getting sick.
The subconscious.
Emotionally sick or physically sick. And so when I do healing work, I'm healing those emotions, those that are trapped. Healing fears.
Yeah.
So, people have so many fears. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown, fear of change.
Fear of
It just
speaking
goes
on a
on
microphone.
And once you change those things, and traumas, that's the other thing. When something traumatic happens, everything you're feeling at that time gets locked in the body.
Right.
And
Remember we had Randy on here with the emotional integrative hypnotherapy?
Yes.
And he was talking about the subconscious is 90% of us. Is that what you're talking about, how the emotions get trapped in us?
Yeah. And so during a healing session, your heart knows everything. So you're asking your heart to bring into consciousness all those emotions and all those fears, where they're stored in your heart, in your mind, in your body, and bring them into consciousness. And once you do that, then you can heal them.
Yeah,
that's
and
beautiful.
I think it's
I agree with
it's
that.
important to note too, though, that we are human beings. We're going to feel emotions. That's part of what the beauty of being a human being. But they need to be worked through.
Yes.
And that's why I think people who exercise tend to be healthier because they can work through their aggressions. They can burn through certain things.
Yeah.
And I've always said, scream, yell, let it out, let the emotion flow through you, and don't trap it, because my mom's a psychiatrist and my sister's a psychologist, and they got a lot of work because people push that stuff down.
Yeah.
Right.
And it can, depending on who those people, you get a little bit psychopathic, and you got to be careful about how I got to guess, I don't know if you've ever run into this, how you release some of that stuff so it doesn't just kind of all come out together when that dam breaks.
It's really simple, the technique that I
Really?
use. It's painless. You just bring in the conscious, they'll feel for a second, and then when we transform it, it's gone. And
That's
then
amazing.
I've had people that have been abused as a child, and they're telling me, or crying, or whatever. And I said, okay, we don't need to go into too much detail. So we just bring into consciousness all the stuff that contributed, all the pain and the shame and the guilt and all that stuff that they lived with. We do the healing around it, and then they're able to say, oh, yeah, that happened to me. It was no big deal. I mean, you can see when they're healed, they're neutral.
Neutral.
They're able to look at something that
Come
happened
back
in
to
their
neutral.
life, saying it was an experience. I learned from it.
Yeah.
But there's no more.
That's great.
And now I'm able to
Trigger.
release
Yeah.
it and let it go, and it's not
And
affecting me
when
anymore.
your vibration is raised, you can get to that place.
Yeah.
That's just awesome. That's
So if somebody was going to say, "Oh God, Laura, I need to see you. What would be that process? How do they get a hold of you first of all?"
and what kind of things do you offer for people? Like,
Sure. Well, I have my phone number, first of all,
Yeah,
which
what's-
is 408-568-8625.
And you're here in Los Gatos.
And I'm in Los Gatos,
Right.
yes. And then I have a website, is lightconnectors.com. And that tells you all about the different types of healing that I do and what I offer. I've been doing one-on-one sessions for many, many years. And recently, in the last couple of years, I've added some group sessions. And they've proved to be really fun. So we meet once a week. We do some healing as a group. And then I do some remote healing every day on them in between their weekly sessions. And then I also have a 12-week program where I'm teaching people who want to learn the technique that I created to help themselves and help others.
I get just one
So
quick question.
wonderful.
We're almost out of time, but can just about anybody do this that really wants to, would you think? Or
Yeah,
do you have
I
to
mean-
have a special halo on your head and wings on your back or something?
No, I mean, you have to have the desire, and you have to be neutral and non-judgmental and remove your ego and allow yourself to be that conduit
Right.
to channel the energy. But I teach them how to do that.
So they have to actually be a
They have to
patient
be
first
open-minded.
before they can do it.
yeah,
is what
well,
we're
they
saying.
do have to work on themselves.
Right. No, I get that.
So-
I get that.
well, this
That's-
is, I mean, really, really important. And healers have been a part of our culture forever. And so it's so great to know that you're here
Well, thank
Yes,
you.
for people
thank you
Thank
for
you for
being
in
here.
our
having
local
me.
community.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining us on today's Your Healthy Living. Don't forget to tune in to the KIYS Video Web Radio website or check us out on Facebook. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Have a good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura.